at the Apollo.
Wow. So, no one heard you yell, it's showtime at the Apollo. But, apparently in that small font, Marcus, that I see next to the red writing that you got a maybe. Who attacked Jacob? Spoiler.
Oh,
Maybe.
you know what? That's just carryover from the last thumbnail. I never deleted that. I have no clue. I have no clue. But you know what? I'm willing to point fingers in a hunch. I'm willing to point fingers real quick.
Welcome everybody to the
And
Sharpshooters.
Triple H is already pointing fingers as well. They're black.
Welcome everybody to the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. I am Eric, the dark skinned wrecking ball, and I'm joined by.
I am the Wrestle Dream, Marcus the Grand Finale. For those who have tuned in to watch Wrestle Dream, watch along, you are wrong. You're in the wrong spot. Or those who out there decided not to go out there to the King's protests, you are also in the wrong community as well. We're here to talk about something that's a day old. We're talking about Smackdown
Marcus,
and other things.
Marcus, not only we're here talking about something that's a day old, we're also talking about some stuff that's maybe a couple of days old because, I have some stuff that I need to talk about that's been grinding my gears about pretty much AI in professional wrestling. I don't understand how AI got a job, but people can't get jobs. It's really confusing me in this whole
Wait,
situation.
You about to rant on AI?
No. Allen Iverson is perfectly fine with me. I'm about to get AI.
Oh, it's Iguodala.
You know that fucker. You know who I am.
Or because I'm upset with the AL in the schools. That's what's grinding my gears. The AL in the schools is going too far.
My gears have been grinded so much that they down to the teeth. They always grinding, but we ain't making no money, brother. We ain't making no money. So how you doing, Mr. Lucky Leprechaun?
I don't know. You're
like Ricochet.
Yeah. Come on, man. I'm doing fine. It's another beautiful day in America where it's nothing but peaceful and friendliness going on around here. As Manny gallivant through New York City, the same city.
Does he think he's Spider-Man? So this picture's like, I should be Spider-Man. Mark, think about it, Marcus. When are we going to have another day where something doesn't happen that trumps the day before? Like, it seems like each day there's something that is like, well, I thought we couldn't get no longer here. Well, I guess we didn't.
That happened yesterday.
No, I think that's when they broke up the text group from all the young Republicans who like to use the N-word.
I believe they came out on Thursday, but I don't believe they were broken up until today. So Marcus, I'm going to say they had one day. This current administration is like following AEW and how many crimes they're going to commit on one episode.
So Marcus, I'm going to tell you this right now, and I'll tell you this right now, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Marcus, that text group is not broken up. There's another text group that has been created with the one person who messed it up for everybody else who let it leak.
Oh, absolutely.
They are back. I know how side texts work because everybody that have been in the group text and be like, can you believe who this fool is talking? Like, who is this fool talking to?
So you would just do another text. I am a person that would say, this ain't who we are. We also are going to have Jesus in our text now because we're going to be like, God, thank you, bless us. We're innocent people. Thank you, Lord Jesus. We're going to have a pastor there. We're going to change it up.
My favorite thing about group text,
have a real text on the side.
My favorite thing about group text though is when people leave a group text, like it announced me like, John has left the group text. And you be like, I didn't like his ass anyway.
Well, you know what? I hate being in group text. I do. Because a lot of times, you've dealt with me. I don't chime in. I don't care.
You don't?
I hate being in a group text. I just get a million messages of things that I just go, all right. Nah.
I think it's very...
You plan on showing up to this? Nah.
It's very dangerous for me to be in a group text because I might talk about people who's in a group text and I still won't care about it. But it's just the principle. You don't want to have a hostile group text. You just really don't.
I'm down for the tea. There was one time we were in a group text, someone changed their number and we kept talking to the person who number was changed into someone else. And,
So Marcus, I'm going to do something before we start talking about the creativity, or the lack thereof creativity bar. I want to give shout out to AEW. Marcus, I don't know why, but I enjoyed. I don't know where Darby Allin was. Don't know where John Moxley was at. I don't know. I'm sorry, John. I don't know if they were in a jail, if they were at a wait. I don't. But them having a sit down, and then you have permed out Neville come in there or whatever his name is.
If we had time for a pre-meeting and we had to discuss some of this stuff, I would have said this is the only way we could have did this show is if we had our own phone and talk to it. Pick up, man. How come you don't visit me, man?
But Marcus,
I don't know you.
Marcus, they didn't have a photo, man. They had the other jail where they just had the little thing. Like, what the hell?
They had a payday advance, man. They weren't nowhere.
I appreciate them trying to do a storyline, but Marcus, why was Pocket? Who did John pay off? What the hell?
Yeah, who did they both decide let's go to this abandoned prison or talking to visiting hour rules? But I still blame Darby Allin for getting attacked. Why would you put yourself in that situation?
I don't know. Because I don't think either person was arrested. I don't know.
No crimes are committed in AEW. No crimes. Because Gabe Kidd's still driving down the street somewhere.
But we'll get to, because we got Smackdown had their attacks backstage as well. But Mark, let's talk about AI and the creative. Marcus, it's been a lot going on this week in WWE in regards to creative and how they're having trouble writing stories or connecting with their younger performers. I mean, the first story that you guys shared with me this week was when Javon Evans came out and was like, man, these people just don't relate to me. They don't know how I talk. Like, it's like I'm trying to explain to them that I don't sound like this mature old man. And then we have that. And then we go to the point, Marcus, where we find out that writer AI was signed somehow to a contract to help WWE write storylines. That
ain't true.
I don't know what's true or what's not true. But, apparently Triple K is a little too busy working with the administration that he can't really focus on making anything entertaining. But before we even get there, you have to give a shout out to Skunk McMahon for being able to actually do storylines that don't rely on AI. Have you seen
Vince?
Have you seen
Vince?
Have you seen it? Look like his face was done with AI.
He's fixed his face. He's done it up. But I don't know who told him, hey, this haircut, it's a good idea. He looks like Pepe Le Pew.
Marcus,
he looks like a skunk. It's a stupid look that I just want to be like, man, CTE is bad, and everybody should protect herself.
I look forward to when we go back to our regular time next week so we can actually organize that. But I would love to have a picture of this or that where we could have the picture of McMahon's mustache or the skunk hairdo. Marcus,
I'm going mustache.
You're going mustache.
Mustache Vince.
I think I'm going skunk hair Vince, Marcus, in this one. He looked moisturized.
Yeah, I like mustache, little thin pencil mustache Vince with the cane.
So, but back to the AI situation, Marcus, our longtime correspondent who does not get paid by us, but we do enjoy when he chimes in on the show, Marcus. Let's Storm says,
this is a constant for 20 years.
For the most part, AI, most of what it's used for, it gathers all the existing knowledge on the internet and sums that up. It's like you wanted to study the history of wrestling and repeat stuff. That's not good. Creativity is coming up with new and fresh ideas, not recycling old ideas in an artificial intelligence algorithm. Marcus, I agree with that wholeheartedly. With the way that, when you ask ChatGPT or Sona or whatever, you ask it a question, it searches the internet where this is discussed and it gives you some type of answer. You trying to use this for wrestling, you're just going to have what we have right now, the same repeat and recycle type of storylines that we've had in professional wrestling since the time we were young.
Yeah, but you know what? That's not all bad. Just give it to me different. There's only like 4 type of movies you can make, right? And there's only 4 types of movies, maybe 5 or something. There's only 4 types. And because everything's been done. Everything in the movie, things can be shot differently, but at the end of the day, everything's been done. So I am like, you can give me something that's old and washed, but present it in a different way. That's all you got to do. Just present it in a different way. And when you watch AEW, I've seen this feud between Jon Moxley and Darby Allin before. Everybody's had a feud like this. I ain't going to say quit. No, I would never say quit. You know what's going to happen at the end of the day? Somebody go quit.
Somebody got quit. Or somebody's going to run out and stop them from quitting. It happens all the time.
So we've seen every angle, all this, just presented in a different way. And I don't feel AI does that, and as we have sampled with episodes of Murder, She Wrote, or the Sharpshooters and the Mystery of the Man That Died in the Docks, these are all TV tropes that I've seen in everything I've ever seen in my life.
Marcus,
everything.
I think the best example that you could use is like Chicago 911, Chicago Fire, Chicago, whatever. You know how they had one show and it's like, we're going to keep doing it. And apparently I think the safety level of Chicago is based off all those TV shows, which might be why the troops are there. I'm not 100% sure yet. But
Trump was watching that. It was like every week they do
every
something.
Week something going
every
on.
week something bad going on, man. It's a hellhole.
But Marcus, this lack of creativity in professional wrestling, my question for you, are we the fans to blame for this? Because I think we do play a role in this situation where I do feel like the wrestling fans are so used to a certain narrative of how their professional wrestling is presented to them that when they try to do things and they try to maybe innovate, people reject it. First example, Marcus, I think something that you was a huge fan of was the NXT Underground or the WWE Underground. You really liked when they were taking that to a whole thing. It was something.
You mean Raw? Are you talking about Raw Underground?
Raw Underground. I don't know, Mark. I don't know which one it was called, but you know what I mean. But it was like it was something that they hadn't done before, and they were trying to do something different. And I remember people push back against it. Do you think that the fans are to blame for things not being done because no one wants to try anything new?
Absolutely not.
Oh, wow.
No. The problem goes with the tops of the companies. Like, it's not wrestling to be like, oh man, I'm out of ideas or whatnot. I don't know what else we could do. Let's have AI write the show. It'd be easier. It doesn't matter anyway. We're just here to collect our money, yada, yada, yada. We don't have to pay for writers. It's that there are people with original ideas and with original thoughts and that can come up with original wrestling schemes or shows or whatnot. But the problem is they're afraid to branch out of their comfort zone and find these people. And you know, there are breaths of fresh air. People have ideas. You can read some good ideas of booking wise on wrestling online all the time. Everybody got a fucking opinion and book the show which way or that way. It shouldn't be, and I will say this, not this fucking hard to do a wrestling show. Do I think I can do this on a weekend day out? No, I cannot. Because I don't think not one person can do it, because after a while, and you can sympathize with Triple K for this one or whatever, is that, you know, I've been writing wrestling shows a long time. Basically, his own wrestling stuff since NXT debuted or whatever. You get burnt out. How many episodes is this? How many movies do so many people have? Or good idea TV shows? You get burnt out. That's why you need to constantly bring in new people and fresh faces and keep coming in. It's like, oh, I want to see this. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We tried to gamble. It's similar to the comic book industry. People have their runs. People have a run. And you'd be like, that was a really good run.
So do you think it would be better if we did that? Like maybe say it was a group of 4 writers and this was just like the first quarter one is their run where they take the storylines. Like, would it be better if wrestling had season finales or even quarter finales where all the stories got reset and then we move into a new thing of stuff going on? Because like for me right now, what's going on in WWE that's I find more entertaining and stuff that I would never see if it wasn't for the internet. And that's what's taking place in Japan. Like them having the AJ Styles farewell tour, them cutting promos, Nakamura talking about that he sees all his contemporaries retiring and he's like, I think it's almost time for me, but I have it one more run at me. It's just like it's an interesting
Well, that's
thing.
real.
No, but Marcus,
that's real shit.
But isn't that what we need to try to figure out how to do, especially with the advancement of the internet, where the internet can spoil whatever's going to happen? Like right now, it's probably people telling us what's going to happen at Wrestle Dream before it even happens. And you're like, who's backstage and who's not backstage? But isn't it, you have to try to figure out how to wrap reality within your creative ideas to make something more better. I don't know. I'm trying to ask
you. Can. I mean, I know this question is saying you do. And I was like, do you? Because I'm saying the happiest time in my when I was watching wrestling. It was the most bullshitty era of all time. And you may say, no, the new generation or whatever and all that, the 80s or whatnot. Yeah, 2 era was full of bullshit. None of this shit can happen in the real world. Nothing was reality and nothing was based on, oh, is this a work or is this a shoot? I think that, get away from all that. Just, if you're going to be silly, be silly. If you're going to be serious, be serious. You can't, or if you want to try to mix and match some of it, do what you got to do.
Marcus,
I think it takes work ethic, and I think it takes time. And I don't think right now the people who are the powers that be, who are as creative as they are, or a writer there, they don't have the time to do it because guess what pay-per-view's coming up next week? Guess what show's coming up that week? We got Saturday main event. Oh, we got to go to Saudi Arabia. Oh, we didn't do something for this. And you, after a while, it's just too much, and it's over. What's the word I'm looking for? Overkill.
Yeah. Well, I think, but Bart, I think you hit the nail on the head, and I think that one of the things that wrestling has really forgot what it needs to do is that, for me, wrestling is at its peak when it's a variety show, where it's so much different things. It's kind of like, all right, we got this skit, now we got that skit, and then you have your main event with the main storyline, but you have so many subplots that are going on. But like even this week on Smackdown, like we got a little bit between Miz and Mello, but that's all we got. Like just a little smidge. It's like, let me get a little bit more of these undercard people right here and there.
That's about all that deserved.
Huh?
That's about all that deserved.
But where you see, Marcus, that's the problem. You don't want that.
Hold on, but this is a bad example. I enjoy SmackDown this week, and I feel like they used everybody to the best of their abilities.
All right, I enjoy SmackDown because, Marcus, I'm going to tell you when we can talk about the show. My favorite point of just like randomness that I was like, yeah, that had to happen. And it makes sense why it happened. You know what? I'm okay with you. I understand what you're doing, but we'll get there. My other question I have for you, Marcus, and I know you're not in the know. You've never been a professional wrestler. You've never been backstage. This might be a better question for Manny, and we might have to say that the next time we see him, but he's probably sprawled out on somebody's sofa comfortable right now. But Marcus, do wrestlers even pitch ideas anymore? Like, I don't think they do. Like, you know how before they used to walk up to Vince and be like, hey, Vince, I want to do this, that, and this, and that. I don't know. Also, I think you're frozen. I think Marcus is frozen, everybody. I think I've lost the grand finale. We were having technical difficulties. I knew that Marcus could never pay attention to my question that attentively. And let me see if I can text him to get himself back in line. Marcus, you are frozen. Oh, he's coming in again. Marcus, it's two of you. Marcus,
yeah, I can hear you. I guess my internet cut out for a bit. I don't honestly know what happened.
Okay. So did you hear my question?
What was the question?
My question is, do you think... Well, hold on.
Hold on. Okay, I just answered the question the way I was saying. Fuck them. Fuck them all. Fuck them all.
No, that was not my question.
Fuck every last one of them. I hope they jump over a bridge.
No.
What's your question now?
My question was, do you think wrestlers still pitch ideas to people? Like, I don't know if is that a lost art of what, because I think that especially in WWE with this new generation where they've been so handled by creative, where they give them, this is what you say, that no one really has their own ideas anymore. And I think that could be something that is missing out in pro wrestling. I think AEW, they have more creative freedom, where it's a little bit of a problem with that as well, where can you find that balance?
Yeah, I think that the wrestlers, I think they do pitch ideas. I think they do come up to Triple H. I think he's brought this up numerous times. Not a day go by when someone pitches him an idea or what they should be doing. I still think it happens, but I do also feel it is largely ignored because all I'm thinking about is my bottom line. Excuse me, this does not print money, okay? Give me a good idea like trash cans with sponsors on there.
Margaret, you sound like you relate to Triple H. Oh, shit. Here come Xavier Woods. I know he got another bad idea about being black in his company, and I don't know how many times I got to tell him being black ain't going to work. Just ain't going to work. I mean...
Not in my company.
Not in my company.
Not in my company. Or in my country. America.
So, is there anything that can be done to change creative? Because I don't think relying on AI is going to help out at all.
Just get somebody that loves wrestling, that knows what they're doing, and have the ideas. But the main focus isn't on storylines. You talk about WWE. It's about money. It's about money. What can generate the most money? What's the next big event? That's all I think they're thinking about. They don't know. They don't care what's in the event. They just know what's the next bit. It's like dealing with Marvel, and they're just telling you, hey, you know what? We don't have a movie really coming out, but here's Dr. Doom.
Hey, Marcus, be Peyton Man right now. Call Audible. Call out the line because I'm about to change the storyline because you brought something.
Omaha.
Let's talk about Omaha, Marcus, how a certain individual in charge known as Nick Khan is so delusional. He don't care about the poor people in Omaha. Marcus, this fool This fool was quoted this week as saying that he thinks that his fans of the WWE will all travel to Saudi Arabia to be a part of WrestleMania. And I said, Nick Khan, you are a fool. Like, no.
I almost started my Nick with something else.
Yeah, Marcus, I don't know what fan base that he thinks, because, like, I think if anybody who had a greater chance of going would be Manny, but I don't think Manny has a desire to go there. I just think that the Royal Rumble, it's going to be the citizens of Saudi Arabia that will be there. I don't think it's going to be that global travel of Americans because, A, we ain't got no money, and B, I don't know if the desire to go to Saudi Arabia is there, at least for me. I can only speak for my black self. I ain't never said, you know where I need to go? Saudi Arabia. Just ain't there.
Let me tell you something, buddy. You're a man to travel. I think you would go to Saudi Arabia if you had the money, and not even for WrestleMania. You would just go. You would just go to be like, let's see what's really going on here.
I go to Egypt first.
Yeah, but you would go over there. I'm not gonna say I would neglect Saudi Arabia and places I would go. Is it a place? Is it number one on my destination list? Nah, it's probably not even in the top 50. But if you entice me enough and I had the money and I've been everywhere else and I got nothing better to do, fuck it. Let's cover up these women. Let's get a show on.
Wow. Okay.
But I believe that Nick Khan has hung around the rich people too much. I'm sure people with money will travel. I don't think it'd be any stars or celebrities or whatnot, but there will be people that will travel with them.
So
and
what you saying? Freddie Prinze Jr. not gonna be there? Freddie Prinze
I'm sure I'm sure if Freddie Prinze wanted to be there, he could, but I don't think he's going to show up. I'm going to quote the legendary philosopher Cardi B on this one.
Which quote, Marcus? What quote? I need to know.
Well, what? I didn't call you fat. I called you a bitch.
Okay.
But no. It's not. That's not what I quote. So yesterday on Instagram or the day before, Cardi B released a statement about how she was gonna pay for her friend's rent, and his friend was like, "Rent was too high. Don't do that." He's like, "I'll put you in the Bronx. It's the brokest fucking place on the planet." And she looked at it and she was like, "Rent is too damn high for a studio apartment. It was $2,700 in the Bronx." And she was like, "It's too damn high." And then she apologized for people trying to tell people to buy their album. Y'all can't even afford her rent. This is some bullshit. Well, this is ridiculous. And that's realism is someone that's planted in the ground. Nick Khan is not a realist.
Marcus, so I thought you were going to recite my favorite Cardi B quote that I saw this week, Marcus, is when somebody was criticizing her for always being pregnant, and her response was, "I like fucking." And I was like, it's simple to the point, Did you call her fat? No, I called her a bitch. That's what I did.
Cardi B, the realest person on the planet. Now,
speaking of a bitch, Marcus, let's just talk about management in itself, Marcus. I don't understand how this can happen if you run a professional business. Marcus, how can you be Tony Khan and risk a lawsuit from WWE for bringing Andrade into your company? Shouldn't you have made sure all the T's and the I's and stuff was dotted before? I mean, he even showed up, like, Marcus, for that pop that he got. Was it worth it?
No. But you know what? Now you lost Andrade for a year. Now, I don't think, as we said on multiple times in the show, whether he went to WWE or he was bouncing AEW, Andrade ain't gonna draw you no money.
He ain't gonna draw no money.
By himself, you say Andrade's on the card, he ain't gonna draw you no goddamn money.
Heseterio has a better chance of drawing money.
Heseterio. My favorite quote of the week is Don Callis going, "Brian, have you ever been in the ring with someone like Heseterio? You ain't never been in the ring with somebody like that." And then Brian Danielson goes, "I fought Heseterio." And he was like, "When?" He was like, "Was that with him?" He was like, "I don't think so."
Marcus, quite frankly, I can't stand the Don Callis family. I just really can't.
I love them.
But apparently, Marcus, I think there's a part of me that just says I can't stand them. But like you said, they're growing on me because it's just so ridiculous that Mark, this week.
So many fools.
This week, Marcus, Takeshka sends a video. And we all knew Takeshka was... We
should stay on topic before we went into this.
We all knew Takeshka was on that TV screen, Marcus. We all knew he was on that TV screen.
It was a thin sheet. That was so revealed.
I was like, why do we have that? But then, like, Takeshita is telling you don't die, you did everything for the family, and then Okada turns the TV off.
Okada had enough.
I was like, what are we doing? But I was like, it was like, because also, I had to ask this question to myself. So are these the only ones that are like the Doghouse family, or were these the only ones that was available to come to the party?
That was all of them. That was all of them except for Rocky Romero and Takeshita, who were in Japan.
I thought they were Mrs. No, Mark Davis wasn't there.
He was.
No, he showed up and fought, but he wasn't at the dinner.
I'm sure he was.
It was
there.
only 6 people at the dinner. You had.
No, it was a full table.
No, you had the Prototype.
Yeah.
You had Okada.
Okay.
You had Lance Archer.
Okay.
Hintasero.
Yep. Come on, man. Keep it going. And he's not the Prototype, he's the Protostar.
I can't remember the other two, man. I saw at the table.
Come on, man. You had Trent.
Oh, it was Trent Beretta. Yeah, it was Trent.
You say Lance Archer already?
Yeah, I did.
Brian Cage didn't make it. Damn.
Brian Cage didn't make it. I told you that. A lot of people mistaken the invite. They too low on the soda pole.
I feel like there was another one.
It was one of their good wrestlers. Oh.
Josh Alexander.
Yeah, Josh Alexander. That's who was there.
You know we were playing
had to do that.
Straight.
So Marcus, I think that's it. But like Andrade,
what's the story? We didn't even cover the story that you just brought up.
Oh, we
you want to about something before AEW about Andrade.
Mark, we just talking about because we talked about all the good stuff that AEW did. Mark, I was entertained this week.
Eric, it just shows that AEW's management is the worst management of any show or production ever. Like you do not touch all you needed was one lawyer to just say, "All right, go through it."
Marcus,
go through it.
Let me just tell you this right now. I'm not surprised that the owners of the Jacksonville Jaguars are bad at managing people. I'm just not. I'm not bad. I'm not surprised by this at all. Not surprised at all. Now, what did surprise me this week, Marcus, was Friday Night Smackdown. Marcus, this might have been one of the more coherent episodes of Smackdown I've seen in a long time.
Well, I think coherent is the wrong word. I think that's I would say inspired. It seemed like they cared this week.
Oh, Mark, no, I don't know if they cared, but I just know that everything seemed like it was meant to make sense, which is hard to, especially in WWE nowadays. This is like, many things don't really make sense, but I can say that I enjoyed SmackDown, and the craziest thing was I was watching SmackDown and watching baseball at the same time. So I was watching Shohei dominate. Shout out to the Dodgers making to the World Series, but as Kobe Bryant and Mookie Betts says, the job is not done.
It ain't not done. Finished yet, folks.
We ain't done yet.
We ain't run shit. Being the NL champions don't mean shit. No one ever says, you remember when we were the NL champions? No. Nope. You remember winning the World Series, okay? Nope. We have to win it all. And Shohei, by the way, to jump on performances of SmackDown, I believe SmackDown was inspired by Shohei, who I believe at this moment, you can't give an argument about who the GOAT is at this very moment. No one can do what he do.
The can't
strike out 3 home runs in one game.
Let me say this right now. I'll tell you this right now. And sorry, everybody, Manny's not here to keep us on track, so it's now time for B.O.B. If we have some, Mark, this is where we need the button for baseball. Let me tell you this.
Get the organ played.
I did not know who the National League MVP, the championship series MVP was going to be. Did not know. I would honestly say that to that game, it would not have been Shohei because Shohei ain't done shit.
Wrong sound. That was not the sound. That sounded very racist. I apologize.
Mark, we can agree, Marcus, for the first 3 games, Shohei ain't done shit, right? We can agree that. Like, it was like Shohei was on the team. Yeah. Then he goes out and he does what he did yesterday. And I'm like, well, there's nobody else on the team that can do what he did. I mean, I can't give it to Dean. But Dean be running them bases and playing that defense, Yeah. I would give it to Mookie because Mookie made some great defensive plays, but defense don't make people happy.
Eric, I know how to make everybody happy in this scenario. The MVP was the Dodgers starting pitcher.
Oh, that might
you just give it. You do a 3-way tie. Shohei gets rewarded. Snell gets rewarded. Glasnow and Yamamoto.
Well,
and you can even throw in Roki as well.
And let me just also throw in.
And shout out to Bray Triton for proving me wrong. You're a piece of shit. I'll let you know that right now. I don't want to see you in the World Series. I still don't want to see your ass. Now that we got confidence in you, it's scarier.
Let me tell you this right now, Marcus. I want to point out that I would give the starting pitcher of the Dodgers a lot of credit, but I want to give the gloves and the decision making of playing defense. Like, Marcus, a person who I've been extremely critical this whole entire 2025 season, I've said I need him off my team. I need him gone. He don't do nothing. But Max Muncy was out there playing some defense. He was making some plays. I ain't never seen Max move his little Ninja Turtle self like he did. Mark, let me just say, I felt really good to see them win and make it to the World Series. But guys, the job is not done. And now it's time for us to talk about Smackdown. And Marcus, let me say shit first of all. Man, Vic Joseph and Corey Graves, I like them guys on commentating. It felt professional. It felt real professional.
So Joe Tessitore don't sound professional?
Joe do, but Wade is not. Wade's not professional.
Let me tell you the problem with Joe Tessitore, who and why I would prefer Big Joseph. Joe Tessitore, I'm gonna tell you this right now to your face. You do a good job, man. You do a good job. But you ain't wrestling good. I'm sorry. The wrestling good, you got to be as corny. You got to be outraged. I believe when Joseph is outraged. I believe when Corey says something. I don't believe when you say it. When Jim Ross would be talking about that no good son of a bitch Triple H, you believed every word he said. Okay? Yeah. And that's what Joe can't deliver me. Joe can get upset, but it sounds too professional, sound refined. I can't imagine talking to Joe Tessitore in real life and seeing him argue with his wife. It would just sound like he on there read the script. But
can I tell you about Joe Tess?
Need this. Yeah.
Joe Tess, you know where he excels at?
What?
You give me that voiceover work with Joe Tess.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Tess, I was like, damn, they did what? What happened? And then who did what?
Yeah.
Joe Tess.
And then Cody Rhodes said,
yeah. I was like, but you're right.
Had enough.
Marcus, he's too serious to be in the role that he's in. Like he can't lie. He just can't. Like you said, when Jim Ross called Triple H a motherfucker, it felt like he made it. He meant it.
I believe it's a son of a bitch. I don't believe he ever called him a motherfucker. Well, but if he did, it was behind closed doors.
Maybe, but you know, whatever. So the show starts off, Marcus. I want to point out this was one of those subtle things that I saw. Cody Rhodes came down to the ring. He did his entrance, but Cody was in a dark suit, Marcus. I think I see the turn, Marcus. I see the turn. I think Cody's turning on us. He wasn't happy-go-lucky Cody, in my opinion. It was a very simple promo that he was cutting, telling fans, do they want Drew McIntyre? Of course, you get a little bit of booze. Then you tell them, do you want local hero Jacob Fatu? Which I thought that the cheers were a little bit mixed bag of worms. And I didn't know about Jacob's injury. I did not know that he was injured in this situation. And that sucks. We lost Seth to an injury and we lost Jacob to an injury. But with that being said, I thought that they handled it fairly well. I do think Cody kicked his ass, though, in the back. I would like to think it was Cody.
So in the spoiler, maybe you're going Cody.
I want it to be Cody, man, because it's nothing more dastardly than going out there and pinning someone, attacking somebody in the back, and putting it on Drew because it's the easy target, and it was Cody. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It just like that to me, that AI can tell you that generates great heat. Like Bobby Lashley coming from Japan and trying to bring the Japanese culture back to WWE. I think that was the storyline or protect the culture. AI knew.
Yeah. Well, I personally don't believe it was Cody. Don't believe it was Drew. I believe it's deeper than that, man.
Oh.
I believe it's deeper than that. I believe he was attacked by Samoans, man. Not the MFTs. That's the easy way. That's the easy way to go that route. I thought he was attacked by, I'll say it's right there. I'll say the People's Champ, The Rock.
Really?
Had his boy, Travis Scott, jump him from behind and gave him the business. Honestly. I would like for it to be Cody, to be honest. I don't want it to be Drew. Too. It seems like it's set to be Drew. And it give him reason to come back. But we have basically two mystery things that happen. Why and why? Why was Jacob attacked? And then why was Seth attacked? Both of them were basically the same thing. Injuries. Seth is probably going to be out for the rest of the year due to probably getting surgery on his arm, allegedly. And Jacob is going to get work done on his mouth. That's why they had his teeth out. And it's not cosmetic. It's apparently a serious issue. It may be that he has leukemia like Roman and had to do it.
I love to say his teeth is on the ground.
I know it's his teeth.
I was like, wow, that's just very specific.
That's what I was like, it was a little extreme. I know we jumped ahead to this attacking, but
no, we'll go back there. We just gave a little tease. That's what we call in podcasting tease. Let's talk about another tease, Marcus. Your Nubian queen, your Nubian princess, Marcus. Your Sol Roca, Marcus. She made it to the main roster again with her and Zarya going against Charlotte and Alexis. And Marcus, let me tell you something. This was actually a really good match.
This is a good match, Eric, and I want to give him a strike.
I know you do.
Well, you don't know why I want to give a strike. You don't know why yet. You don't know why. And no, it has nothing to do with Triple K. He's pinning a black woman by Charlotte. That's the superior race win. No, my reasoning is for giving the strike, Eric, because I learned the factoid from Big Joseph and Corey Graves that I did not like it. Did not like it at all because I don't remember it. Eric, Sol Roca has the opportunity to be the first person in WWE to have 3 belts at the same time since The Miz. And I go, when the fuck did The Miz have 3 belts at the same time? I'm sure one was the Intercontinental title. I'm sure the other the tag title. I don't know what the third could have been.
Intercontinental?
Oh, yeah. Let's say it's Intercontinental and
maybe he had the tag Intercontinental and US.
I don't think he can have a US and Intercontinental.
Why not?
That sounds blasphemous. Maybe there was a European title.
Hardcore title? I mean,
maybe the 24/7 title?
Yeah, Miz been around for 20 plus years, so it could be any. Margaret, and also, let's just point out, Vic bringing that up is also disrespectful because Sol didn't even bring the Speed Championship out with her because the Speed Championship can't make it on SmackDown television. We know that's a fact.
Not a real title, so it's not a real title. But would you say her Speed title is more valid than the 10 belts that Mercedes has?
Margaret, I'm going to talk. Margaret, remind me to talk about this whole thing about Mercedes and the 10 belts and my only issue with this storyline because it bothers me. It's just only one thing that bothers it, and we'll talk about that when that time comes. Marcus, I want to point out I want to no, it's not that. We'll point out that Sol Roca is a younger version of Charlotte. I was like, they are built almost exactly the same. I was like, wow, it's like wrestling herself, and it was just I don't understand. I didn't know
Charlotte was black.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, she got enough black in it, if you know what I mean.
Oh, come on. She got more brown in there.
But Zarya, what is she just going to turn on Sol? I don't know why we're getting this long tease. The ChatGPT said we got to let it go for 3 months. Is that what we got to do?
I think Halloween Havoc, and she has to do it. I don't even know what Sol doing at Halloween Havoc. I think she's defending the North American title against somebody. It's got to happen there. Because, you know what? Sol needs to let Zarya go.
So Marcus,
I've been saying this for a long time. Zarya eliminated herself out that damn Battle Royal after I gave you a spot. Eric, if I gave you a spot in the Battle Royal, and yes, I'm lying dead on the outside, you better not come check on me. You better win that fucking Battle Royal. I gave you my spot. I gave you that spot.
You better win that match.
I could be dying out there. You win that match.
Now, Marcus, I know I'm probably in the minority in this situation, Marcus, but the moment of SmackDown I enjoyed more than I should have enjoyed. It was a vignette, Marcus. It was a vignette.
Oh, wait, this is a good vignette.
It was a vignette with Aleister Black.
Yes.
And his wife.
Yeah, they lying though.
Marcus, this has been played all alone, Marcus. It's been played all alone to get back together. I was like, huh. So when he was over there at AEW, he almost like, I'm going to get him back. I felt that adding Zelina to Aleister gives him something more. Like, it's just not like Aleister, but I think it gives him a little bit more of an edge, in my opinion. Do you agree with that?
This is the best pairing they've done in WWE in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great thing that they're married.
Like, yes, I know they're a married couple and whatnot, and it makes sense that way. But I feel like she gives him the edge that he doesn't have. He comes off as controlled and calculated. Zelina Vega is a mess. And I think she's going to be back to being her heel ways, kind of ridiculous heel promos. I mean, I was sold when he had the snake on the shoulder. And I was like, there it is.
Margaret, remember, they aren't the affection. but they are the mirror to the disease. And I was like, I don't know what that means, but that sounds damn good.
I love some good gibberish.
Good stuff like that.
But how dare they say it's the plan all along? What was the plan?
I don't know
what was the plan. What was the plan? Your wife gonna save you?
Mark, the plan was to have 2 paychecks after he lost that 1 paycheck. We need to get you back on TV.
You ain't losing no more, man. We
like 2 checks. We don't like 1 check. All right, so we go backstage where they show us how Nakamura and Sammy went when Solo got involved. Miz is backstage talking about, I want to have a title shot for the U.S. Open title. He's then interrupted by Sammy, and Sammy explains to him, I don't care what happened last week, Nick. I don't care what happened last week. We got to have this match. Nick, that's what the Open Championship is about.
So he had to bump somebody. And Eric, I believe the match that was bumped, and hold on, I have my notes here. My sources told me.
Okay.
It was a match that I think people would have wanted to see. It was
R-Truth versus Damian Priest?
No. It was R-Truth. I don't know why we both had R-Truth. R-Truth versus the now I'm re-signed Santos Escobar.
Yeah, that sound like a barn burner.
Santos was in the back, blowing up, going, "What the fuck? I just re-signed with you guys. You guys gonna bump me? I was gonna be a star." No, sorry, Santos.
So Marcus. Sami Zayn versus Ilya Dragunov, Marcus. And I'm going to tell you this right now. This match gets a strike from me.
Ooh.
I already told you why it gets a strike from me.
No, I reiterate.
Marcus, I'm going to tell you this right now. This was a great match. Marcus, back and forth. This, the Russian is now, he has conquered the U.S. championship. But Marcus, it wasn't supposed to be him. It wasn't supposed to be him.
What are you implying? What?
Marcus, this was supposed to be for the black man known as Obafemi. He was supposed to go in there and he was supposed to have this great match with Sammy, just like Ilya did, and take the title. Marcus, I'm very upset by this. I mean, true. Granted, Ilya can still remain a face and do the open challenge, and Oba can come challenge him because they had a really good match at NXT. But the principle of the situation,
I believe it confused Oba with Trick.
Was it Trick? Damn, I'm Triple K too. I got the Triple K disease. Marcus, what did you think about this match, man? What can you say about this match, Marcus?
I'm going to say a phenomenal match, Eric. A phenomenal match. Maybe even match of the week. Although apparently Kendall Gray versus Callie Armstrong is supposed to be the real match of the week. You got to check that out on Tubi, apparently.
Okay.
4-star classic, they're saying. But I thought this match was really good. And you know what? There was the part of it where I believe Sammy was going to retain, and then when they finish that, I'm sick of. Someone comes out, and I gotta look at them. I have to look at them and say, "What are you doing out here?" Happened twice tonight. Because
it happened in match. Marcus,
it happened with Blake.
Let me tell you something about Blake Monroe, Marcus. She had a quote that she said, and I was like, you know what? That girl she got her head on her shoulders correctly, because she was like, I had an opportunity to go to Smackdown. I get to the Raw, but I went to NXT because I want to establish my name more, because right now I'll be fighting for time against Bianca, the Rheas and stuff like that. But NXT, I can be the star. Mark, yes, it is. But you know what? It sounded good.
That's what people who get NXT have to say. You just have to say it. She's just doing her time like everybody do their short stints. Stephanie Becaire, Julia, all these people who are like, they're talking to, let's go hang out in NXT just for a little bit, just so we can say you went through the system. And then we'll bring you up. But that's what they do with everybody. They did it with Ricky. They did it with Stephanie. They did it with Julia. They're doing it with Jordan Grace. They're doing it, they're going to do the same thing with Blake Monroe. It's the same thing. And they're doing it with Ricky Saints.
Yeah.
As well. So I do not buy anything she's saying for 1 minute. I believe she's just going through the system, but it's the right thing to say, and it's the right thing to do. But in her argument, this is the biggest audience she's ever had.
That's true. But I also think that going back to this match in this segment, Dragunov having his moment, I thought that they did a very good job keeping the storyline going, because at the beginning of the show, we had Solo and the MFTs walk in and they attacked Ray Phoenix, who was getting his photos. And the sad part about it, I wanted those photos to be posted. I don't know when those photos were going to be posted, but also a photographer that I follow, I guess, who watched wrestling also, he tagged the photographer who was taking those. He's like, I see you out there taking pictures, because he made it on Smackdown. But the thing about it was that, Ray Phoenix came out there to save Sammy for that butt whooping, but it didn't really work that well. But then it led to, Marcus, I'm glad Betty's not here, because both you and I, we are down for the MFTs versus the Wyatt family. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
In this?
That's pro wrestling this, right there. That's some bullshit pro wrestling right there. You got the spooky versus the, I guess they're street level spooky. I don't know.
Mark, they're savages, Marcus. They're savages. That's the term. Savages.
Let me tell you something.
Savages.
That gave me a bigger laugh this week than the MFTs walking in the arena. And they're all there. They look
you was
like
laughing at JC Mateo with them glasses, weren't you?
Come on, man. I'm laughing at JC Mateo. Damn well I'm laughing at JC Mateo.
I'll tell you.
His shirt was too tight.
Mark, I'll tell you this right now. I saw JC Mateo, Marcus, and I almost took a screen capture with my phone to send it to you just to do it. Because I knew right then and there you was going to be laughing at him.
Every time I see JC Mateo in this group, it looks like a member of the original Destiny Child. Like, I don't remember you, but you were there.
But Marcus, I think... So Marcus, Tama Tonga being back is my favorite thing ever because he was yeeting to the spooky Wyatts, and I'm like, I don't know if they care. I don't know if they care.
About you, yeah.
And then
I enjoyed the spooky stuff, but doesn't the Wyatts need more people? Because they have 5. I'm assuming this is going to be the War Games match.
Well, Bo just don't come down to the ring, but why can't I have her name in my head, but I can't.
Nikki
Cross. She seemed like she wants to smoke.
No, she always wants to smoke, Eric. She seems like she wants to fight. But I'm looking forward to this. If this is the War Games match, I'm happy the War Games match is not all main eventers. That we can go to the mid card, if not the lower mid card, and squeeze some shit out of this.
Well, let's keep it in the lower mid card because we had a backstage segment, and unfortunately, this segment always is ring true to my heart because of Raphael, and he talks about Kiana James and her skank ass tops. And Marcus, I want to point out, I think Kiana James got some of the most skank ass tops in the game right
Absolutely.
now. I don't know where she's getting them from, but I was like, she paid for them and she gonna show them off. And that's what she does.
Yeah.
And somehow, some way, she got a match against Tiffany. I don't know how she got her way into this match, but I remember they fought 3 weeks ago and she lost in a matter of seconds. So,
I don't know what's going on.
Huh?
Was that Tiffy? She lost the second
I believe it was.
I don't remember who it was.
But once again, I think Kiana James is outshining Julia. It is sad. It's sad.
Which is it? They're not doing anything with Julia. They have no intention of doing anything with Julia. They brought her in just so AEW wouldn't get her.
And then Vic Joseph, Marcus,
they hate Japanese women for the most part.
And then Vic Joseph decided to go AEW on us and give us some stats that Tiffy was 17-1 with a .944 win percentage in 2025. I don't know why we got that stat.
She only has one loss, Eric. Because, people, when she lost at Crown Jewel in Australia, people were like, oh, they're done with Tiffany. They're burying Tiffany. She has one loss. Let her lose, okay? Let her lose all the matches.
So now we have the block of SmackDown. I know Triple H booked because it was tag team wrestling. Once again, we don't have Manny here to be extremely upset. But Marcus, I don't think anyone cared that it's been 1 year since Motor City Machine Guns has been on SmackDown because, quite frankly, they haven't done anything in this whole entire year. And the fact that it's been a year, Mark, it's been a year since they've been there, but we're still having the same song and dance with the same people. You got Los Garza, you got DIY, and then you got who else was in the back with them? Fraction. Fraction. They all do the same gamut, Marcus. I just don't. Right now, they need to stop. They just need to stop.
Eric, what's your beef with tag team wrestling? Eric, they're trying with tag team wrestling, okay? They're trying to build a tag team division. I feel like going Bill Cosby.
The problem with tag team wrestling right now is that I don't like any of the tag teams. I'm okay with the Wyatts. I think the Street Profits have ran their course. I think the Motor City Machine Guns, they are they're nostalgia act. They don't need to be there. Fraxium, they had so much momentum in NXT. Now they're just whatever they are right now. I don't think there's anybody right now in tag team that can save tag team wrestling. Like right now, the Hardys are the champions, and they still might be the most decorated team right now. They got the Dudley boots. So it's they have to take it seriously in order for it to work. And I don't think that they take it because they use tag team wrestling as a way to fill time on shows.
I concur.
And that's my biggest issue that I have.
I can say exactly what you said and repeat it, but I'm not. I'm choosing to say you're right.
Then we go, Jacob Fatu music happens. and he doesn't come out. And I
just asked Music Man.
Yeah. I just want to know. Looked like he was laid out for a minute. Don't you have to wait to see Jacob before you hit the music? I mean, I don't understand.
I don't understand the Music Man. I don't understand the Music Man hitting my music knowing damn well I'm not here. We've seen this time and time again in wrestling. If I'm not in Gorilla before my music hits, something bad to happen to me. Something bad to happen to me. And clearly something bad to happen to Jacob. For you to be like, hit his music, he doesn't realize. He don't know what time it is. We started this a little early. No. Jacob got his ass whooped. It looks like stuff happened. There's teeth everywhere. It's a mess. And ask Jacob what happened. I don't know.
Mark, I believe Drew. Drew didn't do nothing. Drew had nothing to do with this. Cody came out there and fought Drew in a suit, which I feel is a mistake.
Put the title on the line. Put the title on the line. Put the title on the line.
No, Margaret. It was that Drew could just get that number one spot.
No, it was for the belt. That's why Cody lost by DQ.
Oh.
That's for the belt.
I guess. I mean, but you know what? It tried to give a little bit more magic for Cody and Drew. That's going to happen at Saturday Night Main Event.
We had this already, though.
I know.
At Saturday Night Main Event.
I know.
Why are we getting it again?
So the question is, Margaret, is this a problem of Cody or is this a problem with Drew? Like, who is the problem?
What do you mean? Like, who do I not want to see and why do I want to see the feud?
Because I feel like Cody and Drew are in the same position where they're both stale. Like, there's really nothing going on with them to really make me care. And it's just like, it's almost kind of like how Drew McIntyre is in that same Damian Priest zone where Aleister Black was there until he put his wife in the picture because they've been working on it. Where I'm like, okay, like I'm a little intrigued. Like, Drew needs something now to make him a little bit more, because he's just been doing the same thing. Like, he's the brooding person that doesn't get respect. Cody is the superhero babyface that, like, it's like, I need something more from these guys. You can't continue to do the same thing and make me want to stay interested with them.
My question is, Eric, do you see Drew McIntyre as a main eventer?
No.
So who in the roster do you see as a main eventer? Who do you see as someone can go against Cody right now? That's ready to go. That could be a main event that's ready to go for the main roster.
Quite frankly, I think the tease that they made was Jacob Fatu. I thought Jacob Fatu was
out for the year. Now that he's out,
no, I thought that was an interesting choice and things like that nature. Right now, it's kind of bleak because I think they've relied so much on the stop worrying about him wearing sad pajamas when you got a sad
Don't worry about what I got on, all right? Don't worry about what I got on. I'm selling cars outside. I'm selling cars. I'm making deals.
You know, the problem with Cody is that, like, you have to have somebody established. And so if you find out Cody is the one who attacked Jacob and put him out, then I think that you can parlay that into a feud between him and Sammy.
Okay.
Like Sammy, you know, trying to
maybe it was Sammy
because you know, like he's an honorary Oos and stuff like that. Like, I think Sammy is somebody who might confuse with Cody. I just don't think that Cody can be a face in this situation, and I don't know what you do with Drew McIntyre because I think Drew McIntyre has a great look, but I think that you really need to put him in the mid card someplace. Like, if anything, have him go take the IC title off of Dominic Mysterio or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, he has to do something like to make. He has to disappear out of the title picture for a minute, in my opinion. Like, he keeps getting undeserved opportunities, and that's kind of frustrating when you come with the process. What about you? What say you, sir?
What I say, me? I don't think there is another main event. I think that's one of the problems we're facing WWE right now. Who's your major stars? I can only think of who's your main characters. So you go Cody, you probably go Roman, you go Cena as it goes on his last run. And then after, well, I would say the Usos. I'll put them together because that's what's going on right now. And then after that, you try to just be like, all right, who's next? Is Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed ready? Probably not. I mean, I would try to build up Braun Breaker, but he's on Raw. On SmackDown, there is no other new, fresh person, and it's time to call these NXT people up.
Well, Mark,
it's time to call them up. It's time to bring Oba up. It's time to bring Javon's black ass up. And I know they can't write for him. Bring him up. It's time to bring up Tony D'Angelo. I know that ain't shit. But bring up Tony D will help out in the roster on either show because he'll fill a spot. You need fresh faces. Everybody's in their 40s. Everybody's LA Knight, and we need fresh faces on the roster. You can't have these same people. Drew been around for 100 years.
I think like for me in this I think it could work, but in this situation, you gotta reunite Trick Mellow Gang. I think Trick Mellow Gang against Cody could work, and you figure out whoever you want to have go for the title. But I think it's like in NXT, when you think about the Trick Mellow Gang, like when they was together, Marcus, that was family, Marcus. That was family.
Yeah, them in the barbershop.
Yeah, like it just.
But I don't feel Mello's there yet, and I don't feel Trick is there yet. Trick is not known by many people. Let's be honest.
He got a great song.
I mean, he has a following with NXT and TNA. He's the biggest box office draw in TNA history, which means he's the greatest of all time in TNA wrestling. But I just don't feel like they're right there yet, that they should be fighting Cody. They need to be building somebody up, and maybe that's what they're doing with Aleister Black, as he is now. And him and Zelina Vega would be some good foils. I mean, they had had a 10-second feud to AEW. Let's run that shit back.
Let me tell you this right now, Marcus. It hasn't happened yet, so it'll be a good break. It'll be a good flavor. Zelina adds a little bit
of AEW.
Mark, remember, if it don't happen to WWE, it never happened. So whatever, As before, I talk about my Sasha Banks stuff Mercedes Moné. Manny says, if you're selling cars, look like you ain't sold one in a while. You look like someone handed you the car keys and they fell on the floor and you got mad. And then he says, I climbed the mountain but more on that on the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. So he's giving he says
with those rickety knees? No,
he says, peace out. I'm out last full day in the States tomorrow. Enjoy your son. Don't get picked up by ICE. I'm going to make a couple of phone calls so we can have Manny arrested so he can put some money on his books.
Hey, Manny gets arrested. That's views, man.
Marcus,
make sure we got a camera looking at him.
Let me just tell you right now, Marcus, my issue that I have with Mercedes Moné, with her being Ultimo Moné, Marcus, is that I get that she's going around collecting belts and all that good stuff, but the fact that she doesn't have her eyes set on the AEW women's title bothers me. Like, if that's supposed to be it's supposed to be your most prestigious title in the thing. And Marcus, I'm telling you this right now, Chris Statlander, if I'm Mercedes Moné, that's vulnerable right there. That's vulnerable too. I can take it from her. Tony beat me.
But she's ever evolving, Eric. She's evolving in the cosmos and everything else she said.
Marcus, you can't beat the cosmos. That. Marcus, I get the belt to Mercedes. Give it to Mercedes. Then you make her drop the TNT title so that she can say she never lost the TNT title. I just don't understand why she doesn't want the AEW. She's only went for it once. She's the belt collector. Go for that title. At least make it seem like you looking at that title. That's all I want her to do. This is like, hey, what's going on? Who's the? You know what I mean? Just a little bit of that. That's all I ask.
Well, to me, the story is if she has to get a real belt. If you're gonna be this belt collector, you got 10 belts. You gotta get a real belt. Half those belts, I don't know where they're from.
Don't know those belts from.
And what's the story behind them? I know the TBS title, as Manny did some deep down reporting and talk about one of those belts is the Owen Hart title, which is non-defendable. It doesn't count. It doesn't count. And I agree with that sentiment. She needs to take the Ring of Honor title from Athena. And I know Ring of Honor's dead, and I know it don't matter, but if you're not going after the main AEW World Championship, there should be no woman, not another woman, with another title that you do not have if you're the true belt collector. Yeah. You should have the women tag team titles, which I guess fell apart. I don't know what Tony announced them, but never did anything with that. You should have the TBS title. You should have the world title. I need Mercedes to act like a real black woman, like Soul can go for all the belts. Sorry, Axel. Zoria asked Soul this week, how many belts do you need? And Soul didn't have an answer. She wanted it all. She's here for it all, just like Solo Sokola.
Mark, I'll tell you this right now, Marcus. I'm so happy that we agreed on this point, Marcus. I feel good. This is a great way to end the show, that we agreed on something that's great. We did great. Seth got what he deserved. I think
he did.
He did. You know, Marcus,
the vision was dead as soon as Becky Lynch came in. They never hung around it together because his girl took his spot.
Marcus, Becky Lynch had more. She was running that crew in it. My favorite line: "I take off 1 week and this happens." It's you know. Yeah. Mark, do you think WrestleFest is gonna be a good show tonight?
I think they're killing it right now. I believe they're having a bunch of matches and doing things you've never seen before. Although I do fear, and I'm not lying about this, I am dead serious. I feel for Darby Allin and Jon Moxley's life tonight for whatever they plan on doing. I think it's going to be ridiculous. I think it's going to be gory. I think what they do, people are going to go, oh my God, they're going to see it, and hopefully no one gets hurt. But then at the end of the day, people are going to forget what happened on that show.
I just want to also
it was all a dream.
I just want to point out Marcus ain't shit either because Marcus knows me very well because I called him and he was on the phone with me and was doing the Motor City Machine Guns Los Garza match, and they did a move. He said, "I knew on this day Eric was gonna say something about how he enjoyed the gory bomb, whatever DDT." He's like, "I knew it because he ain't never paid attention to it." And that day happened on Friday when I talked about it.
I saved these days, man. I saved these days like receipts. I know I'm coming for you. I know what you like.
Well, shoot. I think the good news is, if I'm correct, next week we're back at 11 o'clock, correct?
Next week we're back at the mid-morning show is back.
Okay.
All three of us should be here for, I would like to call it a romp.
A romp. It's good because I have a photo shoot in the afternoon. So, yeah, that works out perfectly.
So, this is the last evening show for a bit. I return to our regular scheduled programming.
The late show has ended.
Yeah, the late afternoon primetime show is over, and we don't have to compete with WrestleDream or the MLB playoffs. By the way, kick their ass, Blue Jays. Kick their ass. Kick their ass.
You want the Blue Jays? I kind of want the Mariners. I think
I can go either way on it.
I like the big dumper. The story, like he got a big butt. That's why he's famous.
I want to annihilate either one of those teams. Hopefully.
Well, so the reason
I don't know anything about AL teams like this, so
the reason why
for me to be like, oh,
the reason why I don't want it to be the Blue Jays because it makes it too easy for Major League Baseball to write stories, and I don't like that. I don't like when they have the stories.
What story do you think?
Max Scherzer was a Dodger, blah blah blah, but he couldn't throw, but now he's throwing for the Blue Jays and stuff like that. Plus, I think the Blue Jays have Russ Springer. What's his name? Yeah, him coming back. Like I don't like all our past coming back.
You don't like recurring villains?
No, I don't. I don't like because we got a lot of enemies. Because Marcus, let me tell you this. If our team lost to the Mariners, I could be okay with it. But I could not let Max or Russ get another championship on the Dodgers' back. I just cannot.
Hey, the Dodgers lose to the Blue Jays. If that's who we end up playing, Eric, I think we need to annex Canada. I think we need to take over. We can't have the World Series outside of America.
Although, Marcus, if the Dodgers had lost and it was the Brewers that made it, I was going to be cheering for Canada. Be like, yeah, take that, Donald Trump. Like baseball, American pastime is in Canada.
Yeah, America.
But it's different. It's different.
But anyway. Yeah, there's a lot of things, Eric. I know you got to go, and you got people waiting for you to express your opinions about them and hate. But that could lose the show. Is there anything else you want to leave on? Is there any other news story that tickled your fancy or anything?
No, I mean,
I don't have my phone on me, which has all my notes on it, so it's gone.
Believe it or not, I enjoyed AEW this week. However, I didn't know there was an extra hour of Collision, so I didn't.
No, sons of bitches snuck that on us.
I didn't get to see the extra hour of Collision. I was like, "Oh, what's this?" And I was like,
"You didn't miss that. You missed the Darby Allin image, Eric."
No, I saw you guys talking about it, and I thought that happened on the show, and I was like, "No, this." And then I realized I was like, "Oh, that happens on Collision because the."
Well, Eric,
Mark, I'm just laughing because, like, literally, you know how we talked about storylines and whatnot?
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to give AEW credit.
I'm giving them credit.
Or just talk bad about them. But Hangman Page and Samoa Joe is the pettiest storyline in the game right
absolutely now. It is, Eric. It absolutely is. Joe is mad about absolutely nothing.
Marcus,
nothing.
Marcus, Joe, we all know what Joe is mad about, that he's not part of the bloodline. He's the only Samoan not part of the bloodline. Even JC Mateo somehow got into the bloodline, but he didn't.
He could be like, that could have been me.
But But it's
no,
still.
I love that. Is that your favorite? Is that your favorite storyline going on right now? In all the wrestling?
Surprisingly, Darby and Mox is better for me. Whatever, but it's. I think the impeding Takeshita and Okada is because it's going to be a really good match that's probably going to take place in Japan.
Yeah. I'm all in.
I know you are.
I'm all in, and I'm going to tell you this right now. And I would like to apologize to Tony Khan and his creative control, or even Okada. I'll accuse Okada of being retired, but man, the man has shaped his game into the best hater in all wrestling. He might be the biggest hater. The looks on his face of like, go show me this fool today. Yeah. He wishing him a happy birthday. Just hate. Can't even wish nobody a happy birthday.
And then Marcus,
that motherfucker hate like a motherfucker. He just hated. And he has Okada's belt, and Okada has to go for it. And I think they've done some really good work in teasing and teaming this team up. But I'm curious what's going to happen on Wrestle Street.
I also think my two favorite luchadors at the game right now might be the Beast Mortos, because he's like so fat. I don't know what he does. He's just so fat. But then Hessa, what is hit the zero. He's actually really good in the ring.
He's amazing in the ring.
Like the fact that he had the full-fledged interest doing fireballs, I was like, wow, that's impressive.
I don't fuck with Klein though, or Clone.
Oh, fuck with him. All right, Marcus, I gotta go though. So everybody, thank you for being part of the show. We appreciate everything that you did. We'll be back tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Next week at 11 o'clock. I did not attack Jacob. But until then,
it was me, Austin. It was me all alone.
All right. Bye.
She ain't no doctor. Someone call Isaac Yanko.